inputs coming in on the broadcast. And amid suspense over round 2 dialogue in Pakistan, Iran says it's unsure if it is going to attend the talks. Iranian Foreign Ministry issues a statement, says unsure, hits out at US, calls US unserious about talks. Tehran draws a clear red line over talks. Iran is going to prioritize its own national interests. Those are the statements coming in. Statements of intent now coming in from Iran on talks. So clearly, suspense continues over the talks, whether or not it is going to happen. Srinjoy, you were pointing out this earlier, but it looks like, Iran is not willing to disclose its cards, still maintaining that its own national interest is its priority, hitting out at US that they are not serious about the talks and saying they are unsure at the moment.
Yes, you're right. First, they said they were not coming. Now they are saying they are unsure. Now, this is clearly a sign that the Iranians are not going to say whether they are going to go for the talks or not. The only way of judging this may be when J.D. Vance gets on the plane. If J.D. Vance gets on the plane, you can imagine that maybe the Iranians have agreed, because for J.D. Vance and Kushner and Witkoff to come will take 12, 13 hours. For the Iranians, it will to go from Tehran to Islamabad will take a maximum of 2 or 3 hours. So as a result, one will get an indication of what the Iranian position is. But has J.D. Vance got on the plane? I mean, yes, we've heard that he's likely to go and he may go and all of that. But it will probably work when we hear that he's got onto that plane. And as of now, he hasn't. That's what we are hearing at this point. So the talks, well, it's still up in the air. Everyone hopes that the talks happen. Everyone hopes that there's an extension of a ceasefire. Everyone hopes that there will be some breakthrough. But at this point, we aren't even sure whether the talks are going to happen or not.
Absolutely. Perhaps there will be some confirmation on who is boarding that flight, who is going to Iran for the conversation, to Pakistan for the dialogue. Once, perhaps when US also gets some sort of a clarity, maybe an official confirmation from Iran before it reaches the media. Let's take a look at what's happening in Iran at the moment in terms of decision making, who's calling the shots. So let's begin with Abbas Araghchi. He leads the diplomatic channel as far as diplomacy is concerned. He talks about de-escalation. He's the one who announced that the Strait of Hormuz will be reopened. Then comes the political leadership, Mr. Ghalibaf, the Security Council, that is formally in charge of talks. And there's limited control on ground. So political leadership decides about the talks, the terms and conditions, but as far as on-ground situation or reality is concerned, they have little to no control over that. And then, of course, the military core, the IRGC, which controls the Strait of Hormuz operations, fires on vessels, overrides policy, and emerges as the real power center. So there's a tussle which is happening within the top leadership of Iran as well. No clarity on round 2 of talks with US. Similarly, no clarity in terms of who is actually calling the shots. Who's the one who's putting out this message that Iran is not sure, or saying that Iran is not willing to talk because US has violated ceasefire. US President Donald Trump escalated his criticism of the Iran nuclear deal, asserting that any new deal under his administration would be far better than the joint comprehensive plan of action and would ensure global security, as a high-level American delegation headed for Pakistan to initiate fresh negotiations with Iranian leadership. So Donald Trump has been saying it, reiterating that yes, the American delegation is ready, willing to talk to Iran. It's Iran that's unsure. So Donald Trump has upped the stakes ahead of talks. Let's take a look. This is what he said. The deal will be far better than the JCPOA. Donald Trump says JCPOA guaranteed road to nukes, and the new deal will be far better. He calls Obama-era deal dangerous. Donald Trump emphasizes that the talks are going to go in a positive direction. It will be better for Iran. He also hit out at other presidents of United States, saying that other presidents lacked courage. He says, I am under no such pressure whatsoever, and that we will do it right this time. We will straighten out this mess, and the world will be proud of this deal. Donald Trump also says that he will not rush into a bad deal. So he's putting out a message that United States has thought through all the contours of the deal, are ready as per United States, and that Donald Trump is not going to act under any sort of pressure. He is not rushing, certainly not rushing for a bad deal. We have more breaking inputs on the broadcast as the ceasefire deadline nears. Markets open in green amid tensions.